Okay, all right. Good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning. Can I be heard?
Good morning,
Fine,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I hope everybody is doing well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We thank we thank God for bringing us together this morning. And my name is Dr. Patrick Acheampong, and I've been assigned to take you through this particular course, Systems Analysis and Design. Um, In fact, we should have started this particular module, I think about, is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago? But because of some circumstances, we couldn't start early. But we will make sure that we'll be able to navigate through all the content that we are supposed to, whatever we are supposed to finish. So I will share with you all the material that we are supposed to look at on your Moodle. I hope all of us on Moodle platform, the LMS.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll share all the materials there so that you can just pick them and go through it as and when you want to. I won't waste so much time today. I'll be teaching this course with my teaching assistant, Vincent Akest. Vincent, please, are you here?
Yes, Doc, I'm here.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So Vincent is here with me. So he will be assisting me in taking up this particular lesson. Vincent is a PM MPhil student in computer science. And hopefully by the end of this year, he will graduate from that particular program. So I want you to accord him every respect that you accord you accord me. So once he's here and once he's teaching with me, in my stead, he'll be here. Okay. So please, this course is much of a reading course. So you need to take time and go through it. You need to really take time and go through it. So we have maybe I think about 12 chapters that we cover, but it all depends on the academic calendar and the number of weeks that we are supposed to. So some of them we will give it to you as maybe presentation, assignments, and all of that. And as you know, for the grading system, we have 40, 60. That's 40 for continuous assessment. So if I say continuous assessment, it's not just about you coming to write maybe a mid-semester exam or maybe a test. Attendance and even your contribution in class is also factored into it. Okay. So it's not just about you coming to write an exam or a mid-semester paper and that. Your contribution in class is also another thing that will be looking at. Okay, your attendance is also another thing that we'll be looking at. Sometimes people don't take online classes very seriously, but all the sessions that we will have, we are recording it. So after everything, you go through and see those who attended the class or and those who didn't. And marks will be awarded for that. Okay, so that becomes a continuous assessment. So it's not just going to be only one thing or only one assignment or two assignments. So all that we give you, whether it's an assignment, whether it's a class test, whatever it is, what do you have to do? Make sure you do it and submit. Okay, make sure you do it and submit. That is your continuous assessment. And for the examination, we will have the end of semester examination, and that is going to be 60. That will be 60 marks in all, and that one too, you have to appear and write the paper. If you're unable to write the paper, I think that you need to, if maybe circumstances, you have to let us know. That maybe because of ABCD, you are unable to come and write the paper. Okay, so that will be recorded and put on record. Okay, so today we will actually start with the introduction to systems analysis. Okay, system analysis is a very important subject. It's a very important, sorry, it's a very important course that you have to understand. So please, it's not just, you have to understand the course. So if you have questions, okay, don't hesitate. So whatever that we are teaching you, you have to ask questions. Ask questions. So what you don't understand, you ask, then we'll be able to break it down for you to so that you can assimilate it very well. So system analysis is a very important course in terms of you trying to build a particular system. What are the things that you're supposed to go through? It's not just about saying I want to build a particular information system and then you just start doing it. No. Okay, there are series of things that you're supposed to understand or that you are supposed to know. So these are some of the things that we're going to teach you. Okay. Even how to draw, making sure your designs, because you need to be doing some kind of designs. And then after your designs, you make sure you develop the system. But there are a lot of things that you're supposed to understand. It's like you trying to go and conduct a research. Okay, you don't just stand up and say, I'm going to conduct a research on a particular topic or a particular subject matter. You need to develop certain questions and all of that. So that will be a guide, okay? That will be a guide in your quest to um, develop such a system. So take this particular course very seriously, and that will also guide you in your maybe final year. You guys are diploma students, so doing 2 years. So diploma, you don't do project work, but yes, so this will guide you in I think there's a project that will be given to you at the end of the day for you to do. So this course will be able to guide you in finding your way out of that particular project. Okay. So take it very seriously. Okay, so today I'll hand it over to um, Vincent. So he takes you through today's lesson. Is there any question before Vincent takes over? Is there any question that bothers your mind? I mean, that you want us to know so that we can give you answers to it? If you have any question, you can raise up your hand and we call you. Okay. Okay. Is it Soa? Soa, you are the class rep, right? Or is it a call?
Andrick.
Who is the class rep?
Oh, please, Andrick.
Richmond Kofi. Is it
Yes, yes, I'm saying the class rep is Andrick.
the class rep is what?
Andrick. He's called Andrick.
I'm not be able to get the name very well.
Can you hear me?
So please, he said that.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sir, can you hear me?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was saying the class rep is called Andrick.
Andre.
Yes, please.
Is he here?
No, sir.
Okay.
So the assistant is here.
Who's the assistant?
Sir, please, me.
Madeline.
Yes, please.
But somebody, the one who reached out to me is called Soa. Is it Soa? Yes, I think Soa, right? And he's not part of the class.
Yes, sir,
And
he will join. He told me he's
okay.
he will join the
Okay.
class.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So
Okay, sir.
please, if anything, I mean, let's coordinate everything through the class reps. I mean, if the main rep is not there, the assistant is there. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
anything
Sir,
that
please,
bothers.
I wanted to find out,
Mhm.
going through this course, which are let's say, the career path that this course can lead us into. Thank you.
Career path.
Eh,
How do I even put it? This course is bundled in, like if you want to be a system analyst, okay,
Okay, sir.
it's part of those courses that you have to understand. System administrator, database, and all of those. Okay, so
Okay,
the
sir.
part of, and it's part of most of the courses or most of the programs that you do. And even if you are a computer science, I think you have to also gain understanding of some of these things. Okay, because or even software engineering. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
all right. Okay, I think there are no other questions, so we can start with today's class. Um, Vincent, please, you can take over.
Okay.
All right, so I'm
Thank you so
here.
much, Doc. So, based on what Doc said, and the question that came from is it Richmond? One of the major career paths is being a systems analyst, and as a systems analyst, you are tasked to identify um, how systems must be built, the processes, the designs that are needed. That is where you learn how to use or design use case diagrams, use case scenarios, and also it's an important thing, as Doc said. And also, in case you want to continue with your maybe to get your top up, definitely you do a project or you do a final year project, and it will come in handy when designing your project document or your project. So it's very, very critical. All right, so the objectives for today's class is for you to be able to describe the impact of IT on society, and also be able to describe five main components of an information system. And we'll talk about that. We'll also be able to explain internet business strategies and relationships, which includes B2C, B2B. I believe you've heard B2C, business to customer, business to business. And
Yes, sir.
I'll also be able to explain how to use business profiles and models and identify the 7 types of information systems used in a business. Now, one thing I want you to also understand is that it is very compact. What you're doing is very compact. So we'll need you to be very, very strategic with us, because we are going to give a lot of information within a short time. A lot of information within a short time. Okay. And then the other objectives are to describe the types of information the 4 classes of users need. There are classes of users, and you have to know the types of information that they need, and also be able to distinguish between structured analysis, OOA, that's object-oriented analysis, and agile systems development methods, and explain the 7 main functions of the IT department. And the last one is to describe the roles and responsibilities of a systems analyst within the enterprise. Now, to begin, I'll first ask a question. What is information technology? It's also a very interactive class, so I'm not going to talk alone. Hence, I'm better. We are going to do a lot of discussion, interaction. What is information technology? Per your understanding, what do you understand by IT? Anybody available?
Sir, please. It
Yeah,
refers to the
Gilbert.
use of it refers to the use of computer software and hardware and
The use
electronic
of
systems.
computer software. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the use of computer software and hardware and electronic system that protect and maybe share informations.
That protect and share information. Okay. That's brilliant. Who else? Who else? When it comes to system analysis, no answer is wrong. No answer is wrong. So you will have to share your opinion. Then we proceed. Who else, please? Okay. All right. So based on what you said, that's exactly what it is. The combination of hardware, software, and then the services to manage, communicate, and also how to share information. And one of the things you also need to understand is that IT continues to change. IT continues to change. The reason it continues to change is the introduction of technological advancement and the introduction of new devices. New devices comes with new rules. New devices comes with new softwares and new processes in utilizing those devices. So IT is a changing field. IT is an advancing field, and that is one of the things that you need to understand. All right. Now, as you said, it's the combination of what hardware and what are hardwares? What are hardwares? I don't know if
So
you.
please, they are physical component that can be seen and touched.
All right, physical component which can be seen and touched, and then softwares and also services to manage, communicate, and share information. So the entirety of IT is your ability to combine these elements. Okay, to combine these elements. And if you're able to combine these elements for its proper use, you are actually utilizing the fullness of information technology. Now, under information technology, we have systems analysis. So it's an aspect of IT that we're dealing with, systems analysis and design. And as is there, it is a step-by-step process, for you to be able to develop a very high quality information systems. Okay. In order for you to develop information systems, in order for you to develop applications, in order for you to develop websites, database, or whatever it is, you need to follow a process. As Doc said earlier, you can't just get up and then say, I am designing a system. There must be a step-by-step process. What are some of the processes that you will have to go through in order to, let's say, design or develop a software? Any idea? What are the processes, or what are some of the processes you will have to go through in order to develop a software?
Sir,
Richmond.
I try. Yes. Can I say first, you need to identify the problem that you want to solve.
So problem identification. All right. Problem identification. That's awesome. You see, your participation is very key. You know what? It makes me know you and also understand understand your operation. So first, identifying the problem. Identify the problem. If you're able to identify a problem, you'll be able to understand what needs to be given or the solutions to be delivered. All right. And one of the things we also talk about is first identifying the problem. You do what? After identifying the problem, what then do you need? You also have to find the requirements that are needed for solving the problem. You understand? So identifying the problem, investigating the requirements, or what we call requirements analysis or elicitation. We'll get there. Okay, so these are the processes in order for you to be able to develop an information system or a software or a system. Okay. Now, as we said earlier, that information system combines technology. It also includes people. Okay. Information system combines what? Technology. We talked about it, which is hardware, software, earlier, the first slide, that information technology combines hardware, software, and services to manage, communicate, and share information. Now, in order for you to develop a system, you will have to combine technology, you have to combine people, add data to support business functions, which includes order processing, inventory control, human resources, and accounting. Now, all these come together for an information system to be what? To be built. An information system to be built. Now, the one that designs an information system is called what? The one that designs an information system, or the one that designs a system, is called what?
A system analyst.
A system analyst. All right, a system analyst. So a system analyst is a very important part of the IT department, and they enables you to plan, to develop, and also to maintain information systems. Because the information system for which you have built, you don't just build it and then that is it. There must be a process to maintain that information system that has been built. That is where update comes in. That is where checking to identify if there are attacks or whatever on the software or on the system. Okay, so it is the duty of the systems analyst to be able to help you plan, to develop it, and also to maintain those information systems. Please, any question here? Then we proceed. Now, under information systems, there are elements that we will look at. First, we will look at what a system is. A system by itself is a set of related components that produces specific results. A system, understand this critically, and a system is a set of related components. So a system could be a software, a system could be the entire organization. Okay, because it's a set of what? Related components that produces specific results. And then we also have what we call mission critical system, which is very vital to a company's operation. What does it do? A mission critical system enables you to understand what activities that needs to be performed in order for a company to be sustained or a system to be sustained. Whenever you develop a system, whenever you develop, let's say, a network system, or a company develops a network, there must be what we call a critical system. And that critical system makes sure that anytime the entire system is down, that critical system will be up in order to support the activities of the organization. Like, let's say if MTN goes down, a part of their system goes down, there is always a dedicated system or a redundant system that makes sure that that system comes up immediately. The entire system of the organization goes down so that it supports the activity within that time by which the organization system is down. Okay, and then we also have data which consists of basic facts that are the system's raw material. But what is data? What is data? What is data?
So data is raw facts, any raw facts which is yet to be processed into a meaningful information.
Okay, so data is a raw fact which is yet to be processed into meaningful information. And that leads us to information. So information is what? Is data that has been what? Processed. Okay, so we basically used one stone to kill two birds, to understand data and then also to understand information. All right, an information system has 5 key components. An information system has 5 key components. Now, understand this because you meet it over and over and over. Every information system has 5 key components, and these are the components. We have hardware, we have software, we have data, we have processes, and then we have people. These are the 5 key components of an information system. These are the 5 key components of an information system. Now, the hardware consists of every physical layer and every touchable material of the information system. Okay, the hardware talks about everything physical that could be identified, that could be touched within the organization. And then we have the software, which refers to the programs that controls the hardware and produces the desired information. Now, you can have a hardware. If there is no software, will the hardware be usable?
No.
I'm asking a question.
No.
All right. So you could choose to buy hardwares and decide not to buy any software, especially you go and buy an HP machine and you don't install an operating system on it. Definitely it will become a white elephant. All right. I'm not talking about a political party though, but it becomes a what? It becomes an elephant sitting there without performing anything. You understand? So every hardware needs a software to run. Every hardware needs a software to maintain. And one of the ways you also need to understand is that, or one of the things you need to understand is that there are 2 types of softwares. We have application software and then what? Application software and
System software.
Operating software.
system
Software.
software. Exactly. Now, these are the 2 softwares that enables hardwares to operate or to perform. Okay, and that is where you are doing diploma in IT, right? So that is where your concentrations are going to be. Your concentrations are going to be within enabling softwares to run on hardwares. So we have the software refers to the programs that control the hardware and produces the desired information or results. And then the system software manages the hardware components. And this includes the operating system, security software, device drivers, and utility programs. Now, these are all classified under systems software. And I have data, as we described earlier, which is the raw material that an information system transforms into useful information. And then processes. You remember the 5 elements or the 5 components of information system. The first one is what?
Hardware.
Hardware.
Software.
Software. Exactly.
Data.
Data.
Yeah, process.
Procedures or process.
Exactly. Now, keep these 5 components on your fingertips. You will surely, in fact, keep them on your fingertips. It is on these that the course is expanded. Okay, it is on these that the course is expanded. So keep it on your fingertips. The processes describes the tasks and business functions that users, managers, and IT staff perform to achieve specific results. And also people who have an interest in an IS are called what? Stakeholders. People that have interest in information systems, that have interest in what do you call it? Softwares have interest in systems, they are called stakeholders. Now, I have a question. What are the 5 main components of an information system? What are the 5 main components of an information system? Anybody to answer for 1 mark?
Sure.
Yes, Solomon. You're in Chi. What I shall go no. I'll imagine Antonka.
Say hardware.
Hardware,
Software.
software,
Data.
data,
Process and people.
processes, and people. So when you are asked, but remember, you are not going to be asked what are, then you just list the 5. You have to at least give an explanation to it. You understand? So Yeah, so that is it. But basically, those are the 5 components. Now, internet business strategies. The other objectives is for you to understand what internet business strategies are. Business today is shaped by the following trends: rapidly increasing globalization, technology integration for information access across various devices, the rapid growth of cloud-based computing and software services. Now, if not for the introduction of Zoom and all these applications, Google Meet and Microsoft Teams and all, we definitely would have to meet in class. We would have to meet physically. You understand? So by the introduction of these softwares or activities, business has increased. Now you can be at your home, you can be wherever you are and still have access to whatever information that you're looking for. Like for this information, we would have to meet on campus and then this information will be dispersed. But due to the changing nature of information technology and the growth of technology, you can be at home and then have access to this information without necessarily being on campus. Okay, so that is how internet business strategies has emerged to increase or to help our lifestyle perform better. We also have B2C, which is business to consumer. This is a concept where customers use the internet to research, compare prices and features, check availability, arrange delivery, and choose payment methods. I could confidently tell that at least, if not all of us on this page, 1 or 2 people or a percentage of people have utilized the internet to purchase a product without they being there. True or false? I believe some of you may have bought some things from Bolt, is it Uber Eats, Jumia, and all these apps. Okay, now these are activities that are performed by certain businesses in order to meet you, a consumer's needs at a particular point in time without you necessarily going to their office. So business to customer, business to consumer, it is a concept where customers use the internet to search, compare prices, and also to check for features and availability, and also to arrange for delivery. And then subsequently, you choose your payment methods. Now with mobile money, you can just pay for it without necessarily having to go to the bank to withdraw. We also have B2B. This allows companies to reach the global marketplace. B2B is very vital because it's like a supplier to another supplier. Okay, a supplier to another supplier. And most of it happens within the large firms. Most of it happens within the large firms, and they use the process by which you call supply chain management system. I believe you've heard of supply chain management system. It is mostly within the B2B activities or the business to business strategies. And then we have C2C, that is consumer to consumer. An example of a C2C e-commerce is the buying and selling of used clothing. All right. I mean, a consumer that already bought a cloth and after using the cloth, identify that, this cloth is bigger than me. Let me find somebody that could utilize it proper. And then they just put it online, and then you also go for it. They may not be necessarily suppliers or people that engage in everyday business, but because they have something that may not be very useful at that point in time, they do what? They distribute it or they sell it. So that is an example of a consumer to consumer. Please, any question before we proceed?
No, sir.
All right. Business modeling operations. Now, modeling produces a graphical representation of a concept or process that systems developers can analyze, test, and modify. Okay, so whenever you hear modeling, most of the times, I don't want to. Okay, so on this level, I could say it's a graphical representation. Okay, because modeling could be also a software representation, but for now, let's look at the graphical representation of a concept. So, assuming you want to design a system, and also you want to design a system, what do? You will have to represent your system. Since you have not really developed that system, you have to represent it with a graphical process or method that will be easily seen, identified, and also understood by even a layman. Okay, that is what modeling does. So let's say you want to develop a website. You need to understand who is going to interact with the website and who is going to the interactors of the website, the users, the developers, the consumers, and all these. You need to state all these clearly and use graphical representation to indicate who is having access to what page and who is able to do what. I don't know if it's clear. So modeling produces a graphical representation of a concept or a conceptual design within your head that people, developers, users, they can analyze, they can test it, and then also can modify it even before you develop the system. And also have business profile. Now, there's an overview. We all understand what business profile is. It has to do with a company's missions, vision, functions, organization, product, services, and all. All right. Business profile. If you are starting a business, establishing a business, you would definitely need a business profile. And that business profile introduces the kind of business that you are doing. And I also have business model, which describes the information that a system must provide. A system must provide. Now, every system provides an information. Okay, every system. Remember what I said earlier, that the system or a system talks about the entirety of the organization. The entirety of the organization. So the business model will then describe the organization. Let me put it that way. The business model will then describe the organization. It will describe the system by which you want to build. And then we also have business process modeling, which involves a business profile and a set of models that document business operations. So we have already talked about modeling, that is producing graphical representations of particular concepts that are within your mind. And then the business process is what is how you use the models to describe your business profile. Is it clear? Is it clear with you? If you are not clear, be frank and then say it. Don't be quiet on it.
So please, I'll be glad if you go through again.
Okay. I'm saying that we have modeling business operations. And then under it, we have modeling. And I said that modeling is when you represent a graph, or you represent a design, or you represent a diagram, okay, to a process, let's say a software that you want to build. Because whenever you want to build a software, you don't just, as Doc said earlier, you don't just get up and then build a software. You have to design something that if a friend of yours sees it, he will be able to quickly understand that, oh, this is the kind of software you want to develop. You understand? So the graphical representation of that software is what we call modeling. The graphical representation of the software that you are yet to build is what we call modeling. And then we come to the business profile. Now, business profile talks about the company itself. The company itself, their vision, mission. Now, when you go on a website and you you are trying to maybe research on a company, let's say GCTU, definitely you would want to know who is the CEO, or sorry, now we use VC, who is the vice chancellor, who is the chancellor, who is the departmental heads, and so forth. Okay, now that would describe how the company or GCTU operate as a school. You would want to understand their vision, mission statement. You would want to understand where they intend to go, their future direction. Okay, so that is the meaning of business profile, describing the company as a whole. And then we have a business model. Now, the business model describes the information that a system must provide. Every system provides an information. Every system provides an information. But that information may not be meaningful if the business itself doesn't have a vision. You understand? Because if, let's assume you want to establish a company, and by establishing that company, you design a website. Okay, you design a website. Now, by designing that website, you are telling users what the business is supposed to do. Because definitely you talk about yourself, you talk about the department within the business, you talk about, so all these is like the profile, the modeling all comes together to give us the entire information of your system. You get it? And then we also have the business process modeling, which involves the business profile and a set of models that document your operations. Every operation that you perform. Every document that, business process modeling. This involves the business profile and a set of models that document business operations. Now, for whatever company or business that you start, definitely you will document how your operations must go. Okay, so those operations that you document, it goes under what you call the BPM, which is the business process model. We'll go deeper into it maybe in the later slides so that you understand the business process model. For now, just giving the definition, you may not get the entirety of the whole thing, but as we describe it, you get to understand. There are processes that you document under business process model. That's BPM. So you get familiar with the acronym BPM, business process model. It involves a business profile and a set of models that document business operations. All right. Okay, so I think, So this is a simple business model which includes an event, 3 processes. Remember, I talked about the business process model. 3 processes and a result. So let's assume that you receive a sales order, okay, as a business outfit, as a business person. What do? You process that business order. How do you process the business order? You check the customer status, and then you verify if the customer is creditworthy. It will be an utter bubble saying you will not want to give the person whatever product that he or she is requesting for. Okay, and then after you check the customer's creditworthy, you do what? You enter the customer's data into your system, and then you complete the order. So that is the business process operations, the operations that goes on under your modeling business. Excuse me. All right. Now, a business process. These are what specific set of instructions or transactions, events and results that can be described and documented. A business process, like what I described earlier. Okay. The process happens within, okay. Yeah, so the process happens within, do you see it on the screen? The process happens within this area. Sorry, this area. Oh, I should change the color. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, even this one is not good.
You can see it.
You can see it. Okay. So the process, why is my screen not okay? The process happens within this this area. All right. And that is what I'm describing to. That's what I'm describing to you here. That a business process is a specific set of transactions, events, and results that can be described and documented. So you realize that after you are done with the processes here, you do what? You complete the order. That is the results. The yellow oval there. All right. Okay. Then we have BPM, the business process model, as I said earlier here. Business process model, which involves a business profile and a set of models that document business operations. Here's it. So it is graphically displays one or more business processes, such as handling an airline reservation. Okay, so a BPM graphically displays one or more business processes. And an example is you handling an airline reservation. Now, for an analyst, you may choose a computer-based tools that you will use for your BPM. And these include like shapes, symbols, representing events, processes, and workflows. Okay, so a systems analyst chooses a software or chooses a computer-based tools, a computer-based softwares, in order for them to do what? To model every business and workflows. And the software you choose gives you the type of graphical representation that you will need. So these are some of the graphical representations in order to describe. So let's say if you are designing a software, designing a system, or you are writing a project, you are writing a document to inform your management why you need a particular software. Okay, you are writing a document to management, to CEO, to describe or to tell them why you need a particular software. Now, definitely, you will need to include certain graphical representations because they may not have an understanding of how the software works. But the way you represent or the way you show the graphical representation will let them even understand the software before being built. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Lucid Charts. There are other applications that you can use for this. We have draw.io. We have is it Microsoft? There is this Microsoft. Oh, I've forgotten the name. There is this Microsoft software that is used to design like diagrams. You know, you can even use PowerPoint, all right, to design some of these chart or graphical representations to demonstrate how your system is supposed to operate. So you, as an analyst, you use computer-based tools in order to showcase the business process model. The business process model. The business process model. Is it clear? And this business process model notation uses shapes, symbols, events, processes, and workflows. And this is how the examples look like. We'll all go into details maybe later within the lessons. Any question? Any question? Don't worry, you get the understanding as we go by. Okay, maybe some presentations and some some group discussions will help. Now, we have business information systems. That's enterprise computing. What is enterprise computing? This refers to an IS that support company-wide operations and data management requirement. And then an enterprise computing has what we call enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning is a system that provides cost-effective support. An ERP, I know you've heard of it before, or even if you've not heard of it before, today you are hearing for the first time. An ERP is an application that is under enterprise computing. And this application provides a cost-effective support for users and managers. And they also have TP, transaction processing. The TP is a system that processes data which is generated by day-to-day business operations. Transaction processing systems process data that are generated by day-to-day business operations. So every business operation you perform within the day, there are transactions that are processed. And those transactions that are processed are done by a particular system. Okay, so that system is what we refer to as transaction processing system. Any question? Any question? So class rep, try and then send me a message. I'll send you the slides, and then hopefully you go through.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Andrick, you are back.
Yes, sir.
We're looking for you. Dog was looking for you.
Oh, okay.
How about late? All right. So a single sales transaction consists of what? 6 separate tasks. 6 separate tasks. And this includes the TP system processes as a group. So let's say the transaction processing system, it goes through 6 dimensions for it to be complete. A transaction processing system goes through 6 dimensions. Number 1, it verifies the customer data. Number 2, it checks the credit status of the customer, and then also checks the stock status. So after checking the customer status, whether the person is credit worthy, the system will also check if there is stock available. If there is stock available, it puts to account to for the computations. And then after, it does what inventory, it adjusts inventory levels. And after adjusting inventory levels, it updates the sales file. And the transaction is what is complete. All right. Any question? We'll continue. Now, business support. What is a business support? A business support system provides job-related information support to users at all levels of a company. Firms must collect production, sales, and shipping data, and this is done through what we call what? RFID. RFID. Radio frequency identification. Radio frequency identification. It is a system that enables firms to collect possible information. Okay, possible information. And then we also have knowledge management. Knowledge management systems use what we call knowledge base. And this knowledge base allows users to find information by entering keywords or questions. Sometimes you go online or you go onto a library system and may not necessarily know the kind of book you are looking for. What do? You may have an idea of what you are looking for. So you just type the keywords of the idea you want, and then the system will do what? Will bring forth the information you are looking for. That is what we term as what? Knowledge-based management system or knowledge management system. Okay. Any question on that? Now, for today, we are just like touching on certain areas. Then maybe from next week, we'll go a bit deeper of the system analysis course. User productivity. Now, user productivity talks about a system or software that enables, let me say productivity. User productivity talks about systems or softwares. We all know that within a firm, without an email, it will be difficult communicating with each other. In a firm, without voice processing systems like phone calls, it will be difficult connecting with each other, and that will reduce your productivity. So user productivities are systems which includes email, voicemail, video, web conferencing like what you're doing here, word processing, automated calendars, database management systems. Now, it includes all these activities, okay? And they are grouped into what we call groupware. This enables users to share data, collaborate on projects, and then also work in teams. Now, whilst we're doing this online, one of the systems you will come across is Google Doc. I believe you are aware of Google Doc.
Yes, sir.
So that will enable you to work concurrently on maybe a project. You understand? Without that, it will be difficult because if maybe a project is given, an assignment is given, and we are in groups of, let's say, 3 or 4, let's say a group of 5, and everybody is doing a piece of the work, you can imagine the one that will consolidate the entire work, the kind of pains he or she will go through. But with, let's say, Google Doc or now Microsoft 365, you can do everything online, sync it online without you doing it individually and then bringing it together. You understand? That enables work to be done so easily. That enables work to be done so easily. So that falls under what? User productivity. User productivity. And then we have digital assistant. Digital assistants are combinations of knowledge management and user productivity systems that are enhanced with artificial intelligence. Now most sites, most offices, most companies are employing the use of what? Artificial intelligence, even on their website. So you go onto their website, you type in, you see that a system will pop up and say that I am your digital assistant. Maybe I am Afia, I am your digital assistant. Ask whatever question. You ask a question and indeed, it gives you the answer you are looking for. You understand? So now organizations are employing the activities of digital assistants in order for their work to be done. Then we also have systems integration. Systems integration. Most large companies require systems that combine transaction processing, business support, knowledge management, and user productivity features. Now, if a company requires these different systems, that's transaction processing system, business support system, knowledge management system, and user productivity features, they will then have to integrate all these. And this is where systems integration comes in. So sometimes you go into a company and then they have an office they call systems integration office. Systems integration office. So the systems integration office makes sure that whatever systems the organization is using is combined for seamless operation. For seamless operation. All right. So is it clear? Under the business information systems.
Yes, sir.
Then the next one we'll look at is organizational information models. Organizational information models. Now, this time we're going into the organization, the typical organizations. All right. We have functions and organizational levels. We also have top managers, and then we have middle managers and all. These are all organizational functions. An organizational function or model identifies business functions and organizational levels, which are shown here. I believe we've seen this kind of typical organizational model before, where it demonstrates the top managers, middle managers, supervisors, and team leads and all. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. All right, we have top managers, we have middle managers, we have supervisors and team leads, and then we have operational employees. Now, these fall under functions. Oh, let me clear the screen. Now, the diagram I shown you here falls under what? Organizational level. So we have top managers who are the topmost level within the organization. We have the middle managers, and then we also have supervisors and operational employees. And then for the IT organizational level, we also have IT, we have human resource, we have accounting, we have production, we have marketing, and then we have sales. Now, all these falls under organizational information models. Okay, so this one describes them one after the other. I don't think I should describe them, or should I? Middle managers and knowledge workers. Now, the middle managers provide direction, necessary resources, and performance feedback to supervisors and team leaders. And the knowledge workers support the organization's essential features. And then we also have supervisors and team leads. They oversee operational employees and perform day-to-day functions. And then the operational employees also include users who rely on transaction processing systems. Okay, any question? So what type of informations are needed by the 4 organizational levels that are common to many businesses? What type of informations are needed? Anyone here? What type of information? We've talked about informations that are needed by the 4 organizational levels, right? So what type of informations are needed? Anyone here?
Yeah, yes,
Sir, please come again.
So the question is, what types of information are needed by the 4 organizational levels common to many businesses? Now, you remember we dealt with the organizational models. Organizational models. We have the middle managers, knowledge workers, all these. There is a particular information that each of these 4 levels need. What are these information? What are these information? Now do you understand? Because top managers need economic information. Now, you remember that within an organization, the top managers are the ones that do business economic forecast.
yes, sir.
They project or predict that, oh, this is what we're supposed to have. Maybe next year we'll have to have sales of maybe 1 million Ghana cedis. You understand? And then for the IT, what do they do? What information do they need? They need what? Technological information. You understand? So the top managers, they need information such as economic forecast, technology trends, competitive threats, and governmental issues, because whatever government policy that is given, like recently, when the flood came and the government gave an instruction that if you are at home, stay home, don't go to work. Now, won't that affect an organization?
It would.
Why do you think it will affect an organization?
So can I say, because the organization it works within the premises of the government policies and
Exactly. So even if your managers want you to come to work, because of the policies or the instruction of the government, the top level managers must obey. So they are always looking at informations outside the organization that will help them run their businesses. You understand? And then the middle managers, they need more detailed information from the top managers, because they are overseeing the supervisors. So they need, especially the top managers based on the marketing strategies that is going on, we want an increase in sales by next year. Now, by telling the middle managers will then have to work around to come up with strategies by which they will be able to achieve that forecast. You understand? And that means that they will then also have to go down to the supervisors and overseers who oversee the day-to-day operations of the organization. You understand? So there are these organizational models. They all need information, but they need information from different angles. The supervisors and the team leaders will also need what we call the decision support information. You know, the decision support information we talked about, and then the knowledge management systems and user productivity systems. They need these 3 or 4 systems in order to carry out their activities. And then the operational users, all that they need is information that will help them to handle their task and make decisions that are assigned to them by their supervisors. Okay, so every organization, yes, sir.
I just want to find out something, sir.
Yes, sir.
So earlier we said radio frequency identification is used to track or collect information about transactions. So with this information, is it needed by the operational employees or the middle managers? Sorry, the supervisors.
So that will also depend on the organization's formation. You understand?
Okay.
Some organizations will leave set tasks to the operational users because of maybe their day-to-day activities by which they need those information. So they may need information from like RFID tags or devices in order for them to design their reports.
Okay, sir.
Maybe supervisors may not even understand the operations of the RFIDs. You understand? But then if you as an operational worker, you use the RFID, you gain your information and everything, and then put it in the report form. Your supervisors may be able to understand exactly what is needed and what is lacking.
Okay.
You understand? So it will depend on the organization's formation, especially this, the RFID, the biometrics, the sensors, and all these things. It will depend on the organization.
Okay, sir. I get you.
Yeah, okay. All right. So can we continue?
Yeah,
questions about say now, so that I will know we are really on point. All right. Anyway, we are coming to systems development. So that is where we'll deal with systems development life cycle. Systems development life cycle. So we have structured analysis. What are structured analysis? Structured analysis uses a set of phases that are called SDLC. That is systems development life cycle. And this SDLC enables you to plan, analyze, design, implement, and support an information system. Okay, the SDLC describes activities and functions that all system developers perform. And this includes, they usually go through 5 steps. And these steps includes what? Systems planning. You remember that earlier we talked about some few things that if you want to develop a website, what are the things that you must look at for the processes that you have to go through? And then somebody mentioned that you have to first, ask a question of what must be done, right? So that is a systems planning. It falls under systems planning. And then we also have systems analysis, we have systems design, we have systems implementation, and then we have systems operation. So this is the steps under SDLC, which is systems development life cycle. We're going to go deep into that, and I believe you understand. Any question here? The 5 processes under SDLC are systems planning, systems analysis, systems design, systems implementations, and systems operations. Now, there's a diagram to understand so easily. Okay, we have this is a modified waterfall model. Now, if we talk about waterfall, we are talking about how the system is supposed to be established. So we have systems planning. Okay, that's a preliminary investigation into the system that you want to develop. And then we also have systems requirement, what is needed. So systems planning, systems analysis, systems design, systems implementation, and systems operations. Now, systems planning phase. So that's why I said we're going to talk about it step by step so we understand. Systems planning phase, it usually begins with a formal request to the IT department, which is called a systems request. That describes problems or desired changes in an information system or a business process. Now, the main purpose for the systems planning is to perform what you call a preliminary investigation. A preliminary investigation. All right. That is what enables systems analysts to plan a system that they are building. So the systems planning phase begins with a formal request to the IT department. You may be in the IT department, then you get a message that, oh, we need a laptop. All right. That's a systems request. We need a laptop. Then they will explain why they need a laptop. Then they will explain why they do what? They need the laptop. So the systems planning phase enables you to investigate what exactly you want to build. The website, why do you need a website? Is it necessary? Why do you need a software? Can't we buy it out there? So you do that investigation to establish a focus, okay? And then the systems analysis phase aims to build a logical model of the new system. Now, the purpose of the system design phase is to create a physical model that will satisfy documented requirements for the system. Now, that's what the systems analysis phase does. You do what? You investigate. You ask questions. I mean, you try to find out the necessity of what you are about to build, or the purpose is to create a physical model. The purpose of the system planning phase, or the system planning phase, is to what? Is to make sure that you investigate to create a model. that will satisfy the requirement. Now, when you send a request, you give the reason why you need what you have sent a request for. And that falls under requirements. So we'll get there. We'll get to the requirements analysis. All right. So the systems planning phase begins with a formal request to the IT department, and that is what we call the systems request. And this describes the problems or the desired changes in an information system or a business process. The new system is then constructed during the system's implementation phase. Okay, so you request the system, that's the systems planning phase. You come to the systems analysis. You analyze what is needed to build the system, and then you come to the systems design. The systems design, where you design the application or you design the system. All right, that's where we are now. Yes, so the systems, where are we? Is it here? No, we have moved. So the new system is constructed during the system's implementation phase, sorry. Say implantation. Systems implementation phase. During the system's operations phase, the IT staff transitions the fully functional, excuse me. All right, so sorry for that. Now, the new system is constructed during the systems implementation phase, and then during the systems operation phase, the IT staff transitions the fully functional implemented system to the user. Okay, so after the requirement is done, the analysis is done, the system is designed. What is done? What is done is that the system is then transferred to the user. Okay, the system is what? Transferred to the user. For the user to, work on it, or let's say use it to, and during that using stage, or during the stage where you are using the system, the IT staff or the system analyst is able to understand the issues or the errors that have been generated as a result of the usage of the system. Because when you design a system, it is during the usage stage that you are able to understand what must be done and what must not be done. All right. So during the system's operation phase, the IT staff transitions the fully functional implemented system to the user. Thereafter, maintains, enhances, and then also secures the operational system. And also have object-oriented analysis. We'll also discuss about it in the next two slides. I think the next two lessons. The next two lessons. Now, object-oriented analysis combines data and the processes that act on the data as what? Object. We'll talk about that later. So don't bother your head with that. Okay, so this is how the systems development goes. Okay, now in a typical object-oriented development model, there is the planning, there is the analysis, and then there is a design task. That is if we are dealing with object-oriented analysis. I don't want to talk about it because we'll go deep into it in the next lessons. All right, but this is how the object-oriented analysis looks like. There is the development phase. There is the there's the planning phase. There is the analysis phase, and then there is the design phase. And these interact with each other because as we plan, you analyze, and then you design. Then you come back to your planning table, and then you find out if you have already met your quota. If you have not, then you go back. So it is under it that you come, you understand what prototypes are, what agile methods are, and then also the types of testing that you must perform on a system. Because after you have designed the system, you also need to test the system. There are types of testing we'll look at. We'll look at the unit testing, the A/B testing, and all those testing systems. All right. But for now, let's look at how the systems development phase goes in relation to developing a system. You have to plan it. You have to analyze your plans, and then you have to design the analysis that has been done. Okay. Any question? Any question? Now we have agile methodology, agile methods. Now, agile methods attempt to develop a system incrementally. So you realize that under the object-oriented development model, there was a prototype session. That means that after you have planned your system, analyzed it, and designed it, you don't design the entire system, but you design a prototype. So it is at the prototype section that you do what? You test your system, if it is fully functional or not. Okay, now during that designing stage, we have types of designing methods. We have the prototype, but first let's talk about the agile methods. We'll talk about the prototype. The agile methods attempt to develop a system incrementally. So if you're developing a system, if you're developing a software, the agile method says that, okay, let's do it step by step. Let's first design the user interface. And then after the user interface, let us add, let's say, the contact section. And then after the contact section, let us add, let's say, what other section would we need? Let's say, let's design a website right now. Let's design a website right now. Let's use the agile methods. It says the agile methods attempt to develop a system incrementally by building a series of prototypes and constantly adjusting them to user requirements. So let's build a website right now. What will be the first thing to design or to develop? Hello, class. We are developing a website right now.
Okay.
Okay. We are developing a website right now. So what is the first thing that we must do?
The website, if I may ask, for let's say a e-commerce platform or a news website or or just a website?
Yeah, so just a website.
So
No,
firstly,
we are attempting
must
to use agile methods, and I've described it like I've explained, but then I want us to put it in practice. Okay. Conceptually, let us put it in practice so that you may understand the agile methods better. I didn't do this last semester for the level 200 people, but let's do it here. So what do we do? What will be the first process to do?
To define the vision and the product.
Okay, so first we define the user requirements. Okay, we define the vision or the requirements, what we need. So that's why some were asking, are we developing an e-commerce or just a normal website or whatever? You understand? So we define the requirements. What are we building? What kind of website are we building? Or do you want us to build? I don't want to decide for you. I want you all to come up with a website. Other than that, how many are you in class? groups, and then we'll do that.
We are 26.
26.
That's the
So
one in class.
is that
So the whole class or just now?
the whole class?
Oh,
I think yeah, 30 students.
34 amba. So what you're going to do is that we're going to group each other, all right? And then I'm going to give you an assignment. Okay, so class rep, you contact me, and the assignment is going to be based on the agile methods, the prototype method. There is another method that will, let me see. Okay. Yes, there are other methods that we'll use. Okay, but first let's look at the agile method. We also have the spiral model. We have the prototype. Now, these are all, we have JAD, joint application development. You have rapid application development. These are all like methods in developing a system. Okay, so class rep, divide the group.
Okay.
Into, you said you are 30.
Yes, sir.
So doing it 5-5. Anna.
yeah, sir. Please, can I suggest something?
Suggest, my brother.
Yeah, sir, please, since it's our first time, I suggest if you can spare us with the group for now, then we understand the agile and the concepts you explained, and maybe later in our next lesson.
You see, this course is a research course.
Okay, sir.
You have to research, you have to undergo research and read and study. And also it's not like a practical like programming, web designing, what do you call it? Program, okay? It's
Okay, sir.
more of like writing and then explaining what must be done. So you are going to talk a lot and write a lot.
Okay.
So I would prefer that we share the group, and then we give the assignment so that it will also enable you to read. At least what come with your phone now, you can read something and then begin to understand. If you are trying to understand everything now, it will be a problem. It will be a problem. All right. So Margaret and Andrick.
Yes, sir.
You should
Yes,
get
sir.
me the group.
Magdalene.
Is it Magdalene, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Madam Magdalene and Sir Andrick. We didn't need it. Anyway, let's continue. So yeah, so the agile methods. I said let's just build a simple website.
Okay, sir.
What will be the first approach? First is to define your requirements. And after you have defined your requirement, let's look at how you are going to use the agile methods to build. So first, you design the home page. Okay. You design the home page. Now, after designing the home page, you then adapt to the home page. What do you adapt to the home page? What do you add up to the home page?
Maybe some pictures and then some informations as well.
Exactly. So even though you have done the first page, let's say you just did the about us, and then you have not added pictures, you have not added contact, you have not added products or whatever it is. So first you do the about us of the company, and then you hosted the page. All right, you just hosted the page. And then the agile method says that you do what? You build the series incrementally. So after you have done your about us, you add the what? You have already hosted the page. You are not waiting for people to go through it before and then give you their output before you do any other thing. You quickly host the page. And then you say that, okay, I've hosted the About Us page. Now I want to add photos. Okay, I want to add photos. That is what the prototype, the agile method does.
Okay.
Then you add the photos, still online, which people can view and people can access. Then you say, okay, now the About Us is working, the photos are working. Let me add the product we offer. Let me add a product we offer. So that will be an incremental building. So you top it up as and when you move on to the system. You don't just develop the system and then wait for users to use it and then give you the feedback before you add up. Rather, you quickly host it or put it online, and then you top up as you go. That is how the agile methods behave. It attempts to build a system incrementally by building a series of prototypes and constantly adjusting them to the user's requirements. All right, is it clear? Haven't we built a website? We have built a website.
Yeah, yes,
Conceptual.
Yeah, so if I understand you clearly, so then it means that it's like you don't finish the whole website before hosting it.
Before, yes.
Okay. So you
yes.
Let's say we start from the first stage, you host it, and as the website is online, you continue to add in
you add up.
Yes,
exactly. So that is the agile methods. Okay. Now the agile methods typically uses a spiral model representing a series of iterations. So that's what I was talking about, series of iterations or revisions based on user feedback. So since the site is already hosted, you just continue adding up, and then based on what users will tell you, sometimes users will come and tell you that, oh, the color is too bright. Why don't you dim the color a bit? You understand? And then you go online, you reduce your color, and then you host it, like you add it up again, and then users will just be, so it's like a spiral model. It continues and continues, and agile methods can take time, sometimes a year, depending on the type of system you are building. You understand? Depending on the type of system you are building. Now, there is a disadvantage, and that disadvantage is that there is a weak documentation, because you don't really know the entirety of the system. So you just scribble something down as your documentation, you build it, and then, as time goes by, you add up. So there is a weak documentation, and then there is a blurred lines of accountability. There's a blurred lines of accountability and too little emphasis on the larger business picture. You are not looking at the bigger picture. You are looking at the little you have put online and how you can model it, and that is one of the problems with let me say, a lot of we the Ghanaians. We don't take our time to strategically analyze the system before building. We just because we conceptualize the thing in our minds, and we think nobody has done it, we'll go ahead and then do it without really putting down strong documentation that will back up the system. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then we have prototyping. Now, the prototyping tests system concepts, okay, and then allows one to examine input, output, and user interfaces before making final decisions. So the prototype does not allow you to host the website easily. You understand? You build it, but then you wait until all the concepts are aligned before you do what? You host it. So for Agile says that let's put it out there. Let's let's say the software we have developed, let's put it out there. As people use it, we begin to understand what is needed, and then we add up and then subtract and deduct. But prototype says that no, I'm not building this small online. Let's build the whole thing, work on it, and then until we have gotten the final operation, we launch it out. Is it clear?
Yes,
I
sir.
know you've been using that particular statement a lot. Oh, let's build a prototype. Let's build a prototype. But now you are getting the understanding of what the prototype is supposed to be. The prototype is not given to everybody. The prototype is not given to your users, or it's not given to your clients. The prototype is kept, and you only look for maybe few people that are technically inclined. That's what the prototype does. It looks for people that are technically inclined to make their assertions on the system that has been developed. Okay, so a prototype is an early working version of an information system. And then tools. Is it clear? If it's not clear, just ask your question and then we proceed. All right, silence means it's clear. Now, tools are all systems development methods must be supported by tools. All systems development methods must be supported by tools, which includes application lifecycle management, integrated development environment, and computer-aided systems engineering. Now, in order for you to develop or do your systems development and system analysis, these are the tools that you need. You need application lifecycle management. You need an integrated development environment. I believe you know what IDEs are. Do you know what IDEs are? Hey, you don't know what IDEs are? I believe some of you have been mentioning it, but have not really considered it. But IDEs are languages that are used to design systems, okay? And then we also have computer-aided systems engineering. That's CASE. It's a tool that is used to develop like diagrams and symbols and stuff. So these tools are needed in order to develop your systems. Now, we have gone to the IT department. The IT department develops and maintains information systems, and the structure of this department varies among companies. And I believe we are very much aware of it, that the IT department is mostly the, should we say the neck of the entire organization. If the neck is taken out, the whole organization comes down. Okay. We have application development. The IT application development group typically develops leadership and overall guidance. And then we have the system support and security. This group also implements and monitors physical and electronic security hardware, software, and development procedures. And then we have the user support. The user support provides users with technical information, training, and productivity support, which is usually called a help desk, and then database administration. This administration involves the data design, management, security backup, and access. Now, most of the time, they are in charge of the database design or the database systems of an organization. And I have the network. And so under the IT department, these are the subgroups you will see under the IT department: network administration, database administration, user support. That is where a user will call and say that, oh, I have a problem, especially if it's an IT department, an IT organization who develop systems. If a system is not working and a user calls, they will connect you to the IT department, and then the help desk will help you and support you. And I also have the web support. These are people that are specialists in design and construction of web pages. They monitor traffic, they manage hardware, software, and then also link web-based applications to the company's information systems. And then the quality assurance, the QA. This team reviews and tests all applications and systems that system changes to verify specifications and software quality standards. All right. So that's the purpose of the IT department. The systems analyst. We'll be finishing very soon. The systems analyst. A systems analyst investigates, analyzes, designs, develops, installs, evaluates, and maintains a company's information system. All right. So somebody was asking of a career path earlier. After this course, you can be a systems analyst. And as a systems analyst, your job is to do what? Is to investigate, is to analyze, is to develop, install, evaluate. So you have a lot of work under your hands. And then these are your rules. You act as a translator to management and programmers, because you know that programmers, when they are communicating their problem to managers, they speak in codes. And Amushabida. They speak in codes. They tell you the system is what the floating point value of the figures on the code is. Now, why are you confused? You understand? Now, the job of the system analyst is to convert those coded language by the programmers to a normal statement to the managers. You understand? So, as a systems analyst, your role involves acting as a translator, and then also you are the company's best line of defense. If there is an attack on the system, it is the the systems analyst that they employ to investigate how the attack came to the system. And then as a systems analyst, you must have the ability to listen, and also you have to seek feedback to ensure that systems do not go off. All right. So the one that asks for a career path, I hope now you'll be thinking of becoming a systems analyst. You have a lot of work under on your hands.
So sir,
is that?
Yeah, so like for what you just said, so let's say the network the network is down, then
yes,
the network administrator says there's a network glitches. It's up to the system analyst to explain these terms to the managers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And if you are hosting maybe an app or a site or something, you, the systems analyst, you have to explain to the client, because they will not understand why the system is down. And even if the programmer explains it, they won't even get it. So you, as a system analyst, you then have to formulate your words. So you are like the PR of the organization. Okay, or the PRO, sorry, the PRO of the organization. All right, Claire.
Yes, sir.
So as a system analyst, these are the knowledge and skills or education that you have to gain. You have to learn about the internet. Also, you have to learn how to maintain on-site and online training courses. Like you have to read why. That's why I was telling you earlier that there's an investigative course or there's a research course that you have to do a lot of research, a lot of research and investigation for you to keep yourself abreast. Okay, so as an analyst, you have to maintain your role as maintain your skills by attending on-site and online training courses. I mean, you have to also be good with oral and written communication. You have to have the ability to interact with people at all levels. You say, oh, this one there, I can't communicate with them. No, you have to interact with everybody. This one insulted me, so I won't mind. No, as a systems analyst, whether they insult you or they don't insult you, have to communicate with them. You understand? And as a systems analyst, you must also understand business operations. So that is why we're talking about the BPM, business process model, and IT department. We're talking about, in fact, we even talk about SWOT analysis in our next courses. You understand? As a as a systems analyst, You have to understand business operations, processes, and also be able to translate the business needs into requirements that can be understood by programmers. Because programmers by themselves do not understand the business requirement. You understand? So you as a business analyst, you as a systems analyst, whilst you are converting the programmer's code to managers, you should also learn how to communicate the manager's words to the programmer's words for them to understand. I hope we are clear. You should be a critical thinker as a systems analyst. Why do I keep saying business analyst? Business analyst. As a systems analyst, you have to be a critical thinker. And then most of the times, companies require analysts to have a college degree. All right. So what you're doing is gearing towards becoming a systems analyst. And then there are certifications that and career opportunities that will also, will come your way. All right. Now, a system analyst, you need to also understand information trends and track information technology, because the technological changes will affect business operations. Okay, so as a systems analyst, you must be abreast with technology, because the change in technology, the change in technology can affect the business operation. So you as a systems analyst, you must be on track at every point in time. And then also there are key technology that disrupts, in methodologies. Okay, so you also have to be familiar with what cloud computing is, what data science is, what mobile devices are, service orientation and social media networks and all. As a systems analyst, you have to have understanding in all these areas. Okay. Can you summarize the 7 main functions of the IT department? When you're asked, can you summarize it? Richmond.
Yeah.
Can you summarize the 7 main functions of the IT department? Magdalene.
So go back. I'm writing things down.
You're writing things down. Okay, so I'll come to you. Magdalene. Magdalene is quiet.
Say.
Uh-huh. So what are the 7 main functions of the IT department?
Infrastructure management.
Infrastructure management.
System support.
System
and
support.
User support.
All right. Okay, what do send your connect Holy, can you give me one? Holy, can you give me one function of the IT support, IT department? Now, Richmond, can you say it? Can I come back to you?
Sir, please let me try one.
Sir,
So they help with technical issues regarding support and then network issues as well.
All right.
Yeah, and one thing is also looking at the administration of the network. Let's say from this with the network administrators.
Yes.
They look at the
One person offer, but now as I have for this kakra. So I helped you. All right. So I think we are done for today's class. Any question? Any question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, normally you hear the word or the term data analyst. Is it the same as the system analyst?
No.
Oh, okay.
Data analysts, their function, their main work is to employ the usage of data, all right,
Okay.
to
Okay.
to describe the activities of the organization.
Okay.
So whilst you go ahead in your education, you will come to meet what we call the data scientists. So data
Okay.
analysts, data scientists, they use like data to analyze situations. All right, that
Okay.
is where you find themselves. You find them trying to describe maybe some sales that has gone on. All right, and the sales
Okay.
that went on, how people were able to purchase. Then they give you the graph. Maybe we had a precision score of this. We have an F1 score of that. We have an area under curve. You know, all those are for data science. It's much more mathematics.
Okay, sir. I get you.
Yeah, so it's also a career path.
Okay,
In fact,
thank
after
you.
this, you can continue we can start with data science. That's where you use more of artificial intelligence.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, any other question? Okay, so since there is no question, let me see. Next week, there will be presentation. So class rep,
Yes, sir.
get me the groups, and then we'll do a presentation somewhere next week. I'll send you the questions after your groups have been done and sent to me, and then next week Saturday, and will be Abe Kasabi group upon group. All right. Okay. So God willing, next week we meet.
Sir, so I should send it to your number. Oh,
You have my number.
no, sir.
All right. So let me put it on in the chat. If you call and it doesn't come through, send me a WhatsApp. I'm very active on WhatsApp.
Okay, sir.
So that's the number. All right. So can I close, or we should continue with second lesson? This your skeptical laugh video. All right. So see you next week, God willing. All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.